Hello and welcome to Hops and Bros. This week,
Mamma mia, we're talking Italian Pilsner.
For an open window on a crappy world, Max and Chris from Ups and Brews. Ups and Brews. Welcome to Ups and Brews.
Alright, so this week we're looking at Italian Pilsners. Now, doing the research for this beer, I actually went on Reddit to try to discover a couple more things on this beer, and the first post after the question was, it's the same thing as a Czech Pils, you just move your hands a little more.
Yeah,
I was not impressed.
exactly.
I'm pretty sure there's more to that.
I read
this
this
video and does exactly that. That was hilarious, but also
Maybe not accurate. I can't imagine
probably not accurate.
I can't imagine you homebrewing an Italian Pilsner, just doing your classic Pilsner and be like, I'm dropping some hops in there. just recklessly driving into your own brew. That's Italy in one scheme of things. I don't know why Italians drive so crazy. That's one thing that strike me when I went there.
It struck you, yeah. It struck you when you
struck
went
me,
there.
yeah, very, very hard.
Yeah. So, Chris, what's an Italian Pilsner?
From what I've read so far, it kind of originated in Italy, of course, obviously, 20 years ago. A brewery called the Birrificio Italianos started an event, first off, they brewed a Pilsner, which they dry hopped, and they called, it was the Triple Pils, which was kind of like the first Italian-style Pilsner. This same brewery also started 12 years ago. They're at the 12th edition of the Pils Pride event. So this is a beer event focused on Pilsners only, hosted in Italy. Running for 12 years, this event specifically was kind of moved around to America in 2017 by Oxbow Brewing Company. If you heard about Oxbow, Max, right?
Yeah, I've heard about them. I think I've had an Oxbow beer.
It's
but I'm not sure.
It's fantastic.
It's good.
A very, very good brewery. I had the opportunity to try them out at L'Autre here in Elmer, and it was fantastic. But after that, which Oxbow is known for being in 2017, not as big as the 2018 upcomer host of this Pilsner event, which is called Pils and Love. You know, the catchy thing. It's cool. I love the name.
Like peace and love, but pills and love? Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Firestone Walker out there on the West Coast. If you've seen my California video, I visited the brewery, stopped by for a quick beer. Actually, a quick meal and a beer. And it's a much, much bigger brewery out there on the West Coast. And they really took the whole thing on a next level. Which, just as Brut IPAs kind of kicked off a new trend in brewing, which is the Italian-style Pilsner. I just tried one from Left Field Brewing Company. It's called Glorioso, something like that, and it was fantastic. But never really bothered going in deeper into this because I just thought it's just like an Italian Pilsner. It's Pilsner that's differently dry hop. So Max, how does it work on the brewing side of things?
Yeah, so initially when I started looking at the Italian Pilsner, there's a lot of parallels to be made between that and the Brut IPA. It seems to me that it's just a different iteration of something that's already been done a lot, and just branding kind of deal. For the Brut IPAs, the concept of adding enzymes to get a cleaner beer, a more dry beer, it wasn't new. The concept of branding it to be a Brut IPA was new. And same thing with Italian Pilsner in the sense that dry hopping your Pilsner is actually something that's been done a lot. I've had some Laura beers, I've had some beers from Toronto, some beers from around Niagara that have been dry hop Pilsners, usually really, really good. So to label it Italian Pilsner, it's just a different way of saying a dry hop Pilsner. And the concept of a Pilsner is kind of odd in the sense that the only true Pilsner is from Czech Republic. It's from Pilsen. Everything else is actually spelled differently when written down. So a German Pilsner is not spelled the same way as a Czech Pilsner. That's how you can see the differences. And it's the exact same builds, just different water profile. With the Italian style Pilsner, you have a couple more differences. Corn is sometimes used. Also, your hopping regime is going to be very European influenced, but not necessarily using Saaz, using other hops that are maybe less floral, less fruity, going more towards earthy, herbal. And then it's also dry hopped. And in the case of a couple American style Italian Pilsners, kind of weird to say, they're using New World hops. They're using really fruity hops to get those flavors through. So yeah, it's a Pilsner. It's a dry hop Pilsner. I'm sure they're great. I haven't tried one yet, so I don't know.
It's fantastic, and like as you guys know, I was in Italy last year. Max, we did a video on a few like Italian beers that we did. One was with grape musts from Italy. I was more aimed towards grape forward beers in Italy because of wine, but never really thought about Pilsners because the only Pilsner I was able to get when I went along the coast was Peroni. And I think it's...
Which is it's a European style Pilsner, so it's kind of an American Pilsner, or an American lager clone, basically.
Yeah.
So it's not even like, it's not an Italian Pilsner. It's an Americanized European lager.
Yeah, I think it's not even related to that, because when I first saw Italian Pilsner, I'm like, oh, goddamn, I hope it's not just like a clone of Peroni, because that beer was just...
Yeah. It felt basic, you know? It's not
very
like...
basic.
Yeah.
But
I've
now,
had a lot. They're not bad, but they're basic.
They're basic. We have them now in Canada. Like, it's widely available
we've
everywhere.
Had it for a while, yeah.
Which I'm surprised. But I don't know. In Ontario, did you guys get it first? Because I think in Quebec it's like
we've had Peroni
fairly
for a
new.
while.
Okay,
Yeah.
for us
we've
it's
had it for a while.
fairly new. You can get them in grocery stores now and all that, which I'm fine with it. But it's not a proper Pilsner, I guess. It doesn't feel like a nice thirst quenching beer. I have so much trouble saying that those two words together. It doesn't never works. But the Italian Pilsner, I think it's something that could probably get some traction over summertime. Like, Max, do you think we might have a trend for this summer?
I don't think so.
No?
I think we're going to have dry hop Pilsner in the summer. We're going to have some dry hop lagers here and there. I don't think a lot of breweries are going to brand them as Italian-style Pilsners.
Okay.
I think because I've seen a lot of dry hop Pilsners and dry hop lagers and stuff like that, I think people are going to stick with that appellation and not necessarily switch it to Italian style. It's kind of hard when you have a new emerging style, a new like subcategory of a category of beer. It's hard to make them canon and make them kind of redone by a lot of breweries. The Brut IPA surprised me, but I also think we're not going to see a lot this summer either. I
think it's already dead.
And I think even less of the Italian. I think so. You see, like, it's hard to get a style to stick. It's not often that you have your East Coast IPA that kind of emerges from nowhere and then becomes the big thing that everyone brews. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. I just don't see it.
Yeah, so if we sum this up, an Italian Pilsner is just not a Pilsner made with pastas and fancy Italian moves. Right?
It's funny because you could technically, I think, make a beer with pasta, kind of.
Does it exist right now? Like,
no, it doesn't, but I think it doesn't for a reason. Anyways.
There's sugar in pasta, right?
Yeah, that's why I think there would be a possibility, but it might not be the right sugar. I don't know. I wouldn't try it.
You wouldn't try it, but
I would not try it.
You sure?
100%.
Okay. Fine. I'm done with kidding you around. And Max, just quick.
Italian Pilsners.
Yeah.
Basically, dry hop Pilsners with a different branding name, but also a specific dry hopping regime, maybe. We'll see if it sticks. We'll see if it doesn't. We'll see if it's a fad or if it's here to stay. But yeah, still pretty interested. Would like to try one. We'll see. We'll see if I can find any.
Yeah. Personally, if I can have more of them, I'd be happy this summer. That's my only thing I have to say. So, breweries, if you're listening, drop some dry hop Pilsners and I'll be very, very pleased to buy them all.
If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share with your friends. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Cheers.